LOZ, we gotta bring it out. Wake up the lost sheep. Yeah, hey, bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. Hey, bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. LOZ, let's go. Bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. Hey, bring it out. LOZ. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. We gotta wake up the sheep. My people falling asleep. We gotta show now. We put in that work in and we put the work in the streets. We trying to build up the nation. We patient. My people been facing defeat. We teaching repentance. We deep in them trenches. You know that we bringing the heat. We battling demons like every day. Waking up all the people, we set them straight. Keep our head in them scriptures, we meditate. All in the truth, I can't back down and hesitate. All praise to the Most High, with it no cosign. With it keep the law, we gon' levitate. We them Jews, there ain't no lies. With it that we won't die. With it for the truth, I'm a heavyweight. We live in this spiritual warfare. We all gotta gather together, we do that, then we got the nations in more fear. We a separate nation, no explanation. My people, they need to listen. Crunch time, yeah, time is ticking. With the truth, I'm a servant, no stopping, we working. Just hoping my people will see the mission. So we gotta bring that out. 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 I say them Hebrews gotta show. Bring that out. Get your knowledge on the go. Bring that out. Wisdom help the nation grow. Bring that out. Get the truth in the form of a show. Bring that out. All of our soldiers amazing. All of our captains be leading. LOZ bringing that light, shining on what we're achieving. Wake up the people that's sleeping. Wake up that nation like coffee. Wake up and take up your cross beat. Hold up, Pastor man, you lost me. You still be teaching at Christmas? I'm sure that you know that it's pagan. Look how we packing the prisons, blatantly destroying our nation. Single parent home is definitely becoming our swag. Then we send our children through the same system, pledging their allegiance to slaves. Bring that out. 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 I say them Hebrews gotta show. Bring that out. Get your knowledge on the go. Bring that out. Wisdom help the nation grow. Bring that out. Get the truth in the form of a show. Bring that out. Yeah, LOZ, we gotta bring it out. Wake up the lost sheep. Yeah, hey, bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. Hey, bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. LOZ, let's go. Bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves and we bring it out. Bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves and we bring it out. We gotta wake up the sheep. My people falling asleep. We gotta show now. We put in that work in and we put the work in the streets. We trying to build up the nation. We patient. My people been facing defeat. We teaching repentance. We deep in them trenches. You know that we bringing the heat. We battling demons like every day. Waking up all the people, we set them straight. Keep our head in them scriptures, we meditate. All in the truth, I can't back down and hesitate. All praise to the Most High, with it no cosign. With it keep the law, we gon' levitate. We them Jews, there ain't no lies. With it that we won't die. With it for the truth, I'm a heavyweight. We live in this spiritual warfare. We all gotta gather together, we do that, then we got them nations in more fear. We a separate nation, no explanation. My people, they need to listen. Crunch time, yeah, time is ticking. For the truth, I'm a servant, no stopping, we working. Just hoping my people gon' see the mission. I say them Hebrews gotta show. We got the truth and we bring it out. Get your knowledge on the go. We making moves and we bring it out. Wisdom help the nation grow. We got the truth and we bring it out. Get the truth in the form of a show. We bring it out. I say them Hebrews gotta show. We got the truth and we bring it out. Get your knowledge on the go. We making moves and we bring it out. Wisdom help the nation grow. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves and we bring it out. LOZ, let's go. All praise to the Most High. Bring it out. Ken. Hebrews gotta show. Bring that out. Get your knowledge on the go. Bring that out. Wisdom help the nation grow. Bring that out. Get the truth in the form of a show. Bring that out. All of our soldiers amazing. All of our captains be leading. LOC bringing that light. Shining on what we're achieving. Wake up the people that's sleeping. Wake up that nation like coffee. Wake up and take up your cross beat. Hold up, Pastor, man, you lost me. You still be teaching at Christmas? I'm sure that you know that it's pagan. Look how we packing the prisons. Blatantly destroying our nation. Single parent home is definitely becoming our swag. Then we send our children through the same system, pledging their allegiance to flags. Bring that out. 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 I say them Hebrews gotta show. Bring that out. Get your knowledge on the go. Bring that out. Wisdom help the nation grow. Bring that out. Get the truth in the form of a show. Bring that out. Let's go. All praise to the Most High. Bring it out. Let's go. Yeah, LOZ, we gotta bring it out. Wake up the lost sheep. Yeah, hey, yeah. Bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. Hey, yeah. Bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. LOZ, let's go. Bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves and we bring it out. Hey, bring it out. LOC. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves and we bring it out. We gotta wake up the sheep. My people falling asleep.
There it is. There it is. All praises to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what it is. It's the Bring It Out radio show. I'm the Chief Minister, Minister Shalomah. And we're going to bring it to you, a beautiful show. We're going to talk about how to build a nation. We're going to talk about some important ways on building the nation. All right, we're going to talk about it. As you see in the title of today's show, right, is Don't Waste Your Youth, family. The Most High has instructed us on things that we ought to do while we're in our youth so that when we become of age, that we're prepared to walk as respectable men and women of the Most High, wa Hamashiach Yahushua. This is the BTO radio show, the show designed to bring out truth, wisdom, and knowledge and understanding biblically according to the things that are affecting our lives today. I didn't come by myself. I came with the master assassin, right? The quick on the trigger, right? You know the rest, right? My brother, right? Captain, I'm a one, Bun Lawyer, Bun Yasharala is in the building, right? And I also got the baddest DJ in the land, DJ Baruch, right? Holding us down with the latest music, right? And I got a special guest in the house too. So we're going to talk about it. Matter of fact, we're going to invite the family to log on because we got to talk to the young people for a moment. We got to talk to the young people. Believe it or not, I wasn't born with these grays on my face, right? These grays took a little time to grow in. As you can see, the captain, he all dark over there. He got no grays in his beard, right? Don't worry about it. Time will tell, though, right? Time will tell, right? But I didn't just wake up like this. This took some time. It took some effort. It took some blessings to get to where we are, and we gotta lay that down for our youths coming behind us. We can't we can't climb up to a higher level and then pull the ladder up. We got to leave that ladder down there and actually show them the way and taught them how to climb so that we can be better generation after generation, right? We raising Hebrews in the earth, right? We raising the Lord's children in the earth, and they got to know the things that some of us didn't know.
Right.
They got to have a step up in the game, but if they don't got to step up in the game, then what's the purpose of us? The Father told us to get the elders together that they might what? Teach the youngest. It's our responsibility, men, women. It's our responsibility, any one of us that's a little long in the tooth, if you know what I'm talking about, right? A little long in the tooth, they say it down south, right? You've seen many moons, right? You had many B-days, right? Those of us that's been around for a little while, right? We got a responsibility. Bring up these youths, right? Train them. Like my Isha always tell me, you got to train them. You can't just tell them. You got to train them. You got to get them right. Like how a boxer gets a man right for his match. Right? He got to get him conditioned. He can't just tell him how to box. He got to put him in the ring. He got to spar with him. He got to make sure that he's doing his thing correctly and then correct him, right? He got to know what it feels like to drop his hands and see what happens when his hands drop. And he get clocked. And that's not for his destruction, but that's for his upliftment, right? That's for his betterment. Like Yahweh Shai told Nicodemus, he said, man, except you be born again. Why do we have to be born again? Because we got to go through all those childlike understandings and beatings and corrections so that we can be the men and the women of the Most High God, the children of the Most High, the Father. But as us, as they call us, grown-ups, right? We got to deal with the Jonas, right? We got to deal with the young ones coming up and be able to give them right instruction. And that's men, women. We both have that responsibility. So we're going to talk about it, right? Here on the Bring It Out show. I said I got the baddest DJ in the world, right? The baddest DJ in Jerusalem. The baddest DJ in Jeshurun, right? And he's going to hit y'all with the hits. And we're going to play a lot of music tonight. He's loaded. He's ready. I know y'all was missing him last week, but he's here with us tonight. And he's going to make it do what it do. Right? So before all things we do, we always give all praise to the Most High in the name of the Mashiach Yahweh Shai. So let's get Colossians 3, verse 17. Let's get that. Let's start there. And always giving our homage to the Father in the name of the Son.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Adonai Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by him.
Right. Always giving all praises to the Most High in the name of a Mashiach Yahweh Shai, for his name is worthy to be praised. All right. So let's get right to it. I want to start with Sirach. I want to start with a parable of sorts. So we can get us start thinking, right? Can get us start reasoning within our head and start thinking. So I want to get Ecclesiastes, not Sirach, Ecclesiastes, the 11th chapter. Ecclesiastes in your Bible, the 11th chapter. So to get our mind working, because that's what the parables, they bring out information and make you think at the same time, right? Sometimes you gotta tell somebody something. You can't make it so plain because then they don't think, right? You gotta make them think about it. That's why the Most High spoke in parables, all right? So we're gonna start with verse 1.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verse 1.
Let's go.
Cast thy bread upon the waters.
Go ahead.
For thou shalt find it after many days.
Right. He said, cast your bread on the waters because you're going to find it in many days. So now, what is this talking about? Right? Cast thy bread on the waters because you will find it in many days. This is talking about don't be afraid to invest in yourself, especially when you're in your youth. What do I mean by investing in yourself? Meaning that this is a kingdom where stuff is not free, right? Education is not free. It costs, right? It costs to know something. To know how to do something costs, right? We know in common times, we use that word bread to mean money, right? To mean increase, right? It says, cast thy bread upon the water that thou shalt find it after many days. Mean later on, you're going to get the benefit from it. You might not get it right now. You might not see it right now, but you got to cast that bread on the water. You got to let it go, knowing that it's going to do something for you, right? Right. This is talking about, you could use this analogy for investment. You can use this analogy for education in yourself, right? Knowing how to do something. Don't waste your youth just chilling, right? Hanging out on social media, right? Wondering what the girlfriend is doing, the boyfriend, looking at this, looking, just being there's something called voyeurism. That's what social media has done to our children. They made them voyeurs. They introduced them to voyeurism. I want to educate our family on that. I want to look up that word, voyeurism, because that used to be in the books in the American government. That was actually illegal, right? It was illegal to be to practice voyeurism, right? So, and this might be a word that you haven't heard before. So I want to bring some education to that, right? You looking it up?
You want this, right?
Yeah. A person who enjoys seeing the pain and distress of others. Even both of them. Both is it. Watching people. That's what voyeurism is. You spend time just looking at what other people are doing. Because when you spend a lot of time looking at what other people are doing, you're not doing nothing. Right? You're not doing nothing. And we can waste a lot of time on IG, Snapchat, Twitter. Now you can go to these social medias and you can actually get education on things. You can go and learn something and then close the computer, turn the phone off, and go do what you learn. Right? Or you could just sit there and watch everybody doing things and you're doing nothing. You're at a standstill. Right? Read that.
Okay. All right, voyeur. A person who gains sexual pleasure from watching others when they are naked or engaged in sexual activity.
Go ahead.
A person who enjoys seeing the pain or distress of others.
Right.
The voyeur of death.
All right. Any other definitions on that? Because they talk about watching pain. They talk about, what's that down there, down at the bottom? Well, it goes into a lot of voyeurism, getting pleasure out of watching others, right? We used to call it a peeping Tom, right? But now through social media, it became a right thing. It became a thing that's normal, that we're watching things and we get pleasure just watching other people do things, just being a voyeur. And that's not how we're supposed to live our life. We're supposed to live our lives actually doing the things that we're supposed to be doing, not just finding pleasure in watching others. Like, when I was growing up, they used to tell us turn the TV off, right? Turn the TV off, right? Go read a book or go outside or go do something. Turn that TV off. Stop staring at that screen.
And occupy your time.
Right? Occupy your time. Get out there. Move. Do something. Don't sit here and just keep looking. Now you see people, they can barely drive their car without looking online, right? Watching somebody do something.
About doing that gay TikTok hip dance, right? Everybody doing a little hip shake dance, right?
We got to stop this nonsense, right? So now let's go back to the scripture.
Okay. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Cast thy bread upon the waters,
for
thou shalt find it after many days.
Go ahead.
Give a portion to 7.
Give a what?
A portion to 7.
Give a portion to 7. Go ahead.
And also to 8.
Come on.
For thou knowest not what evil should be upon earth.
Right. Because thou shalt not know what evil shall be upon earth. What is this talking about? It's talking about building bonds, building relationships. Right. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8. Don't only be about yourself. While you're in your youth, build those connections with people. Build that network, as people are talking about. Build a network. You know what I mean? You know people that do things, they know what you do, right? You do commerce with them, so then now you have a connection. Later on in life, you're going to need that connection. When you're young, you can build that up while everybody's in their youth. Read on.
Give a portion to 7 and also to 8.
Go ahead.
For thou knowest not what evil should be upon the earth.
Because you don't know. You're going to need somebody one day. Right? Read on.
If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if the earth fall toward the south or toward the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it should be.
So if the tree falleth toward the north, right? Go back down a little bit. It's very important that we look at this.
Okay.
Right. Go back up to verse 3. He's saying something heavy right here in verse 3. Right? Read that again. If the cloud be full.
If the cloud be full, they empty themselves upon the earth.
Right. If the cloud be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. Go ahead.
And if the tree fall toward the south or toward the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it should be.
There it should be, meaning that what? When you place something there, if you don't touch it, it will be there. Right? So now let's look at it from our language terms. If I had 1,000, I had a stack, and I place it somewhere safe, it's going to be there for me when I come back for it.
Right.
Right? It ain't going to disappear. It ain't going to dissipate. Right? It's going to be there. Right? And when the clouds are full, the rain comes. What does that mean? When you stack, then you're going to receive, right? You know, whether it be interest or something like that, you're going to receive. Read on.
He that observeth the wind should not sow.
Right.
And he that regardeth the clouds should not reap.
Right. And if you worried, right, that's what it's talking about, being worried, being afraid. You're worried about the wind, so you don't want to sow. You don't want to throw, oh, it's too windy for me to throw my seeds out here, right? So then what's going to happen? You're not going to sow because you're worried about the wind. Don't worry about the wind. Sow, right? Work. Get things started, right? Start something. Put your hands to something. Begin on work so that later on you can get an increase. Because if you're worrying about the wind, you're worrying about losing. Like I always talk to a lot of young people, and I say, what you want to do? Well, I'm not sure if I want to do this. Or I will go to school for this, but that's going to take too long. What do you mean it's going to take too long? Right. Which is better, family? Growing plants or growing trees, man? Because a tree takes a lot longer to grow. But what happens once you grow a tree? It will feed you for the rest of your life. If you just grow plants, guess what? Every season you got to till that ground. You got to grow them plants again. Because you're only going to get a quick return and a short benefit. But if you grow a tree, which takes a lot longer, some trees take 5-6 years to even yield anything.
Right.
I think a mango tree takes 5 years to bear anything. So you got to wait 5 years after you plant that seed to get one mango off that tree. But after that, for the rest of your life, you got mangoes. You need to use this concept, especially our young people, right? Prepare these things from our youth. Listen, man, when I was a young man, I was blessed that the Most High pulled me into this word. All right, he pulled me into this word, maybe I was 17, right? 16, 17 years old. And he put a spirit of diligence on the brethren at that age. And we study, read, build. Just like a lot of you young brothers right now is doing. All praise to the Most High. Because when you get of age, you're going to have to draw off that knowledge.
Right. You're
going to need that foundation. Because when things get a little bit more confusing and you need to answer a little bit more questions, things going to get confusing, right? All right. And you're going to have the answers, all right? Let your hospitality be extensive. That's right. All right, Isha, let your hospitality be extensive. I mean, that's talking about spreading that word, spreading making those connections in life, right? Read on.
As thou knowest not what is the way of the spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of Yahweh, who maketh all. Right.
So don't claim like you can always predict everything.
Right.
Right. People don't want to work because they're scared they're not going to get nothing out of it. They say, well, if I do that, what am I going to get out? I'm not sure if I'm going to get anything out of it. Well, you don't know everything that's coming. You got to work today with faith, right? You got to have faith. That's the whole understanding of the word faith, right? That you got to know that the things that you're doing or you're experiencing are governed by things you cannot see. And the things that are coming do exist even before they come to you. So you got to put that work in with faith, right? Read on.
In the morning sow thy seed, and and in the evening withhold not thy hand. For thou knowest not whether for thou knowest not whither shall prosper, either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good.
Right. So don't say, well, I'm gonna do one thing. Man, you young. Do a few different things, right? You might be into a few different industries, but finish. Whatever you start, finish. Sow that seed, make sure it grows, make sure it prospers. Go ahead, do something else. Make sure it grows, make sure it prospers. Because at some point in time, that work you do at that time is going to feed you later on. It's going to bless you later on.
Right.
Right. Some of y'all play sports, man. Play football and basketball. Why not? Right? You know, wrestle and do martial arts. Why not? Right? They do MMA and box. Right? Because why? You don't know which one is going to prosper, which one is going to be the difference. Go ahead, read on.
In the morning sow thy seed, and in thy evening withhold not thy hand, for thou knowest not whether shall prosper. And either this or that, whether they both should be alike good.
Read.
Truly the light is sweet, and a pleasant thing it is for to the eyes of the beholder a sun.
Right, to behold the sun. Go ahead.
But if a man live many years and rejoice in them all, yet let him remember all the days of darkness.
Right.
For they should be many. All that cometh is vanity.
Right. So there, the sun is beautiful. It's always good when the sun is shining. But you know what? You're gonna get some dark days also.
Right.
Right. You can't worry about the dark days. Let the dark days come and go, because you're working towards something. Right. Don't think that every day is going to be a beautiful sunny day, a bright sunny. It ain't going to be every day. But don't let that stop you from putting the work in, right? The work you know that's going to pay off in the future. Read on.
Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth.
In that what?
In thy youth.
Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth. Read.
And let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth.
Right, we got young people. They all stressed out. They all, what they call, going through all kind of emotional stuff in their youth, right? Unable to settle themselves already. Why is that? The scripture said, rejoice in thy youth. Why? Because you have a life full of opportunity, right? Why be so heavy and laden in your youth? It doesn't make any sense, right? You stressing over things, man, make moves. Let's say you make a move and it doesn't work out. You got time to make another move. Because I'm going to tell you, when you getting close to 50-something, right, and you're in your upper 40s, you ain't got that much time to make too many errors. You got to sew in where you at, right? You can't restart at this point. You need to be in what you're doing. Read on.
Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thy heart, and in the sight of thy eyes. But know thou that all these things I will bring into will bring thee into judgment.
Right. All these things shall be that the Most High shall bring into judgment. Meaning that what? You got to still be careful in what you're doing in your youth, because all things will be bringing to judgment. And judgment don't happen right away. So you still got to be right in your youth. You got to do what's right. And sometimes it takes time. So choose that right path from now, from a youth, because later on, if you allow yourself to be consumed with folly, what's going to happen? Later on, your life is going to be so full of folly, right? But if you allow yourself to be moving in the spirit, even from a youth, then later on, you're going to have something to show for all your hard work, your good work, and your experience. Read on, verse 10.
Therefore, remove sorrow from thy heart and put away evil from thy flesh. For childhood and youth are vanity. Because
childhood and youth are vanity. So you ain't supposed to be sorrowful. You ain't supposed to be stressed out. You ain't supposed to be heavy in your youth. You're supposed to be light. Don't be taking on things too heavy, because you got time to get it right. You got time to do what's right. I'm going to bring up a guest, but first I'm going to let my DJ get involved, right? My DJ going to get involved. He going to drop a couple of hits. Then we're going to come right back, and I got a special guest for y'all entering in the building. Let's bring up DJ Baruch. Hit him with a few hits, brother, and let them know what's up. Shout to Shofar Loud and all the Hebrew music makers throughout the land. This is the Bring It Out radio show. Let's go.
Yeah, we back to see this thing on fire. Either you gon' ride or you gon' die. Feel that fire, feel that fire, feel that yeah, we back to set this thing on fire. Is you higher, cold, cause we on fire. Look the devil in his eyes, watch him nut up. Yeah, they mad, we tell the black woman to shut up. When you see us, hell yeah, we back to cut off. Set the record straight. They think they got run up. I was ratting with my gun out. Had to put that blunt out. Had to pick that Bible up. My grace was about to run out. Correction got them running. Cut them up like onions. You know how we coming. Put 1,000 times a dozen. Yeah, I'm gonna be beamed up. But I ain't no pyro. I need a window seat. Like Erica Badu. Did it to the wedding. All I said was I do. All gas, no brake shoes. Stuck them out with my campus. Hey, is you hot or cold? Shoes we on fire. Yeah, we back to see this thing on fire. Either you gon' ride or you gon' die. Feel that fire, feel that fire, feel that. Feeling like King Esau with the chosen. But now you're in my blood, Messiah in my blood, there's a lion in my blood.
I represent it, they ain't heard truth like this in a minute. I ain't had lobster tail in a minute. I need a queen who can sew all my fringes, lay on my bed and I reminisce how we used to be glorious back in the day. I get excited and make a fist when I think about King David back in the day. Remember Samson?
He was a Messiah, he had the power like 300 lions. He had the dreadlocks, he had plenty of power, the power because of his diet. He had the most high, all that they had to do is just follow the script. That was the most high, I love David so much that he know how to follow the script. Spiritual warrior.
And I'm praying that I hear you come and say, cause it's warfare. Yeah. I said I'm fighting these demons on the daily. And I'm praying that Yeshaya come and say, cause it's warfare.
Yeah.
Got my anointing on check, and my precepts on check. And my sword is sharp, check. And my girded up, check. Cause it's warfare.
Fighting in the spirit, always.
Yeah.
It's a war. They got bombs, they got drones. I got songs, I got Torah, got the prophets, I got truth. Lace your boots, roll with warriors of faith. All they do is fast and pray. I got sisters that can heal, standing by just in case. See my father part the sea, gospel like a RPG. If I ban it, then it's bound. If I loose it, it's released. Smash on demons like it's nothing. Michael Whitman when it's beef. I'm a soldier in the army, and Yeshaya he the chief. Verse 17, chapter 12. Book of Revelation. It's a battle to the death and fight demons on the daily. Fight malice, fornication, lust, and being impatient. Ephesians 6 and 12. Wickedness in high places.
I got a name in your head. 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 I got a name in your head.
They drunk as hell. They steady talking about love and peace. They forgot what Yacha said. Division claim blood, so they must be to expose the heresies. Cause Yacha say he gonna unite us. So me, I'ma be that battle axe that Jeremiah has spoke of. So your unity is foolery. If we ain't Amos 3 and 3, they turn false prophet to gain prophets and mislead my father's seed. The Most High, he gave an order, and who am I to come argue that? I took the hit like Jehu, and I come to see what Jezebel wants. So I'm looking out for his flock, kinda sorta like Peter did. I'm a watch, speak to a rock, kinda sorta like Peter did. I ain't burnt, but I know that the Son gave me the spirit from the start. I ain't come for beef, and I come to read. So I talk back, it ain't fucking hard.
Gotta hit the streets, we gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets, we gotta teach the people, yeah. We gotta hit the streets, we gotta.
Yeah, we gotta hit the streets. That's my DJ Baruch with the hits. All right, that's what the hits. Bring us up a little bigger on the screen now. That's my DJ Baruch bringing up the hits. Right, we gotta hit the streets. All right, so I said before the break that I had a guest in here that's gonna get up in this conversation about our youth, right? Before I bring up that guest, let me get Sirach 26 and 19. 26 and 19. Right. Sirach in your pocket for 26 and verse 19. And shalom to the whole family that's logged in. Hold on, let me do a roll call real quick while I want my cat bringing up that script. Let's just do a roll call. Who's in the building? If you're in the building right now, let me know you're in the building. All right. Samaria in the building. Samara's in the building. Shalom. Who's in the building here? We got my Isha in the building. Isa Rapaya in the building. Shalom. All right. Zakiah, you in the building. Shalom. Maz is in the building. All right, I heard that new track, man. I think it's Flames. Make sure, Baruch, you put that on deck. Gotta have that new Maz in the building. All right. Shamwa Allah always in the check-in. Shalom, Shamwa Allah. Don Israel always supporting. Shalom, King. Dinah's in the building. Shalom, sis. All right. Who's in the building? Who's in the building? Right. Mina Israel is in the building. Hallelujah. Shalom, sis. All right. Roland is in the building. Roland is rolling in the building. Shalom, Roland. All right. Always supporting. Always need that information, man. It's Tuesday. It's time to get right. J.O. is in the building. Listen. Shout out to J.O. in the building. All right. And the Y-A-Q-A-R-A-H is in the building. Right. Harvard's on the check-in. We talking about the youth. I'm glad the youth is checking in because they got to hear these verses. They got to understand. Don't be rushing when you have your youth. That's the time to build. It's time to sow. It's time to plant. Because later on, when you ain't got that same energy, it's going to be time to pluck up and receive. All right? It's going to be time to reap. All right? You don't want to be waiting too late and now you rushing and you don't want to put your all into things because you ain't got the time. You're watching the clock. Don't spend your youth chilling and dozing off, right? Let's get that Proverbs real quick.
Book of Sirach,
Slakia. That proverb in Sirach. Go ahead.
Book of Sirach, chapter 26, verse 19. My son, keep the flower of thine age sound. Right. And give not thy strength to strangers.
And don't give your strength to strangers. What does that mean? Keep the flower of thine age sound. This is going into, believe it or not, that's going into marriage, right? That's going into the covenant of marriage. Why am I bringing it up? We just married a young couple this weekend, man, right? Shout to Zakar and Kaliah, coming together in their covenant of marriage. All praises to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? We just married that young couple, and that's what you're doing. That's a beautiful thing. They got their whole lives ahead of us. And those of us that, want to give some congrats to myself, pat myself on the back, right? Me and my Isha tied a knot the week before that, right? Me and Isha reply, tie the knot in front of family and friends, and to water for everyone's support when it comes to that joyous occasion. But we're dealing with the youth, and they need to be encouraged, right? They need to be encouraged. They can't sit back and just chill. You see, when I was coming up in the truth, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Our elders told us year 2000 we'd be through. Right? When I came into this truth in 94, they said, man, don't worry about that, because in 2 days, 2,000 years, you know the breakdown. We'll be out of here.
You have 70 virgins.
And all things will be made good. Right? And then 2000 came, a little bit before 2000. I want to say 99 came. And people start looking at all the prophecies and say, I don't think we out of here in 2000. Right? This don't line up with all the prophecies. So we didn't wait till 2000 to figure that one out. We figured it out, right? And said, no, we not waiting for 2000. We're not out of here next year. There's too many things that got to come to pass. So we realized real quick that 2000 doctrine was not it. But what I'm offering the youth today is that we're going to give you sound doctrine, right, for your future. And it says, my son, keep the flower, that's your wife, of thy age sound, meaning that make strong relationships, right? Build strong relationships that won't be destroyed later on. Come out of the world. Your first relationship is with the Most High God. Trust me, I tell you, if you don't have a strong relationship with the Most High, your marriage ain't gonna be all that strong. Because Satan gonna try you. That's his job. He on his job. He gonna try you. And you're gonna have to rely on your belief system to get through those trials. And if your belief system is weak, if you halfway, if you're not really all the way, if you wavering, oh, he's gonna expose you. And he's gonna expose you and bring destruction to your household. And you don't want that. All right. So make sure that these marriages are built on Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai and the Most High and his commandments only. So it said, my son, keep the flower of thy age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. Meaning, don't link yourself up with those that don't believe in the Most High. Don't give your strength to a stranger. What is a stranger? A foreigner. Someone that's foreign to the spirit of the Most High. Somebody that doesn't know how to follow the commandments. Don't give your strength to that. Right? Because it's going to mess you up in the long run. Right? Don't give your strength to that. Matter of fact, give me Proverbs 30 verse 1. I'm sorry, 31 verse 1. Right? Just be on that level. Proverbs 31 verse 1. Since we going there. 31 right? Verse 1. 31 verse 1. Right? That's a precept to go with Sirach 26 and 19. Read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 1.
Go ahead.
The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows.
Go ahead.
Give not thy strength unto women, nor the ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Right. So what kind of woman would destroy a king? Right? What kind of woman would destroy a king? Right? What kind of women destroyed, or just made King Solomon?
Right.
Right. When it says woman, it ain't just talking about woman. It's talking about a certain type of woman that would destroy a king. Right? What type of woman destroys a king? All right. That's the question. Right? What type of woman that's going to cause this man to go astray? And don't give your strength to that type of woman. Don't give your energy to that type of woman, but she's just going to pull you out of the way. Right? Matter of fact, get Kings 11 verse 1. 1 Kings 11 chapter verse 1. Right? 1 Kings, the 11th chapter, verse 1. Just a little lesson for my youths, right? We're looking at the youths and giving y'all, free game?
Right,
We're giving free game right now.
Real spiel.
Right? The real spiel, free game on the Bring It Out radio show. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women.
What kind of women?
Many strange women.
Today they would call them exotic.
Right. Foreign.
for something abnormal. Right? Many abnormal foreign women. Okay, read on.
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh.
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh. So you mess with them Hamites, go ahead.
Women of the Moabites.
Okay, them too.
Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. Of the nations concerning which Yahweh said unto the children of Israel.
What did he say to us?
You should not go into them.
Read on.
Neither should they come in unto you.
Right? Don't touch them. Right? Do not lay with them. Read.
For surely they will turn away your heart.
They will do what?
Turn away your heart.
They will do what?
Turn away your heart.
They will turn away your heart. Read on.
After their powers.
After what?
After their gods.
After their other philosophies, other religions, other gods, other ideas that didn't come from the Torah. Read on.
Solomon clave unto these in love.
In what?
And cleave unto these in love.
He clave onto them in love. You're supposed to cleave onto your wife, but you ain't supposed to cleave onto these.
Right.
Not these type of wives. These ain't the type of wives to cleave on to. Why? Because they're going to slowly pull you away from your father. They're going to pull you away from things that are right. You want a wife that's going to pull you towards the Most High. That's going to help you on the path of the Heavenly Father. Not tell you to be wicked, tell you to break the commandments and give you justified reasons. That is going to mess you up, right?
You know, and if I could too, they're going to sing Alicia Keys to you, like Sister Kalaya and Cigar.
Or they're going to be sweet. The scripture is telling, right? The lips. What is it? The lips of a strange woman. Give me that too. Since you're on that, since you brought that up, right? Proverbs 6th chapter, right? The lip of a strange woman.
Okay,
I think it's 6 and 9. I believe somewhere around there. Or 7th chapter. The lips of a strange woman, like honey's home. He looking it up for me. He gonna get it for me, right? Because there's a lot of trickery. There's a lot of trickery out there. So we gotta be brothers. You gotta be careful, right? Not everything that glitters is gold, right? Read.
7 verse 4. The book of Proverbs, chapter 7, verse 4.
Go ahead.
Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister.
Read.
And call understanding thy kinswoman.
Right. Go ahead.
That they may keep thee from the strange woman.
From what kind of woman?
From the strange woman.
She's strange. She different. She exotic. She ain't about the most. She foreign.
She's a Kardashian.
Like I said, she a Kardashian. Right? Everybody want to drive a foreign, man. You better get a domestic. Read on. If you know what I know, go ahead.
That they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with their words.
Go ahead.
For at the window of my house I looked through my casement and beheld among the simple ones. I discerned among the youths a young man.
What kind of man?
A young man.
What kind of man?
A young man.
That's why we talking to the young men tonight. We're gonna talk to the young ladies too. I got a young lady on deck. She's getting ready to talk about it.
I got an article too for you as well.
Right? Young men, read.
Among the simple ones, I discern among the youths a young man void of understanding.
What was he?
Void of understanding.
Man, he had no sense. He void of understanding. He ain't have no sense. He ain't get no free game. He ain't watched the BTO show. He ain't sit before the elders. So he was void of understanding. He was silly in the head. And what happened to him? All right. We're going to see what happened to him. Nobody told him beware of the strange woman, the exotic, the foreign, right? You want homegrown. You want something. You want a woman that's about this father, about your father that's in heaven. That's what you want. Read.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 7, and verse 8.
Go ahead.
Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night.
Go ahead.
And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot.
What she was wearing?
Of an harlot.
The attire of a harlot. What's the
Yeah.
Pick up on yours.
Gone.
And I'll put mine back.
One moment, family. We picking right back up. Salakia for the interruption.
Okay.
Come, put a 1 in the chat if you could hear and see the screen. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear and see the screen. Are you back up?
I'm back up. Salakia family, we back up. Little technicals. I believe we was quoting R. Kelly when he said, after the party is the after party, and after the party is the hotel lobby. That's the type of woman, fiesta woman, right? That you don't want to have on your arm, right? Because that's going to cause you to fail big time, right? That's going to cause you to fail. The water for the ones in the chat. We back on. All right, so let's read on.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 7, verse 12. Now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face, and said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows.
So we know how this ends up. Let's jump down to he's going to hell, right? Let's jump down.
You sure you want to continue reading?
Yeah, jump to 18.
Verse 18. Come and let us take our fill of love until the morning.
Right, because people like to use that word love like it means so much. If there's no commandments in your love is worthless. Your love is garbage. Your love is another 4-letter word, like some other 4-letter words we shouldn't say. Because there's no commandment behind your love. There's no law in your love. You have a lawless love. Don't let the word love fool you, trick you, or dupe you into anything. All right? Don't let it trick you, dupe you into anything. Right? That word love is very loosely used and mainly abused in our language. In this language of English, it's thrown around. Oh, but I loved him, or he loved her. No, you didn't love nothing. Because when it comes down to it, if it ain't the commandments, it's not love. Right? They said Solomon loved many strange women and cleaved to them. That's not love. Right? That's desire, that's lust, but they call it love. You in your youth, you got to know the difference, right? You got to know the difference between love and lust. You got to know the difference between a covenant, right? A covenant, a ketubah covenant, right? And just talking or chilling, or I'm seeing this person, or what's another word they use? We booed up, right? There's a big difference between a ketubah covenant and being booed up. Right? Booed up is temporary. Right? Booed up is when, things is cool and things is nice and everybody's smiling and cheesing. When you're in a ketubah covenant, you together no matter what. You're gonna go up and down with this ship. And y'all on this ship together. Y'all gonna make this thing happen. Right? Y'all gonna do this work. Right? Y'all ain't gonna be flirting with the outer world. Right? You're gonna do this work and be sure and strong with it. Right, let's read. So,
I actually have an article because we're talking about.
Is my guest still on there?
Yeah, she here.
Let's bring her up on. Let's welcome Naamia to the stage. Naamia, come on stage.
Shalom, y'all. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. We got Naamia from the Shofar Loud LOZ family. We talking about the youth. We're talking about the young ladies. We're going to be talking about the young men. We're going to talk about the things you need to do in your young age. See, now you in your youth, Khan.
Khan.
Did she answer?
Yeah,
Khan.
Hallelujah. All right, I'm not hearing you. So, all right, so you could chime into any of these things that we're talking about. We're about to read an article that the Cap got on deck. What you got, Cap?
I did have something to say. If you can hear me.
We hear you.
I think the word that you brought up in the beginning of the class, voyeur, it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a good word because there's a lot of like conflict that happens with teenagers, fighting and verbal like arguments. And that's all people want to see. Like they will record that. They want to see all that drama. And I think voyeur was a good word that you brought up in the beginning of the class.
Oh yeah. Yeah, want to see the drama. Want to see the
Right.
displeasure in people, or want to see things they ought not to see, the discretion. Have no discretion in their eyes. Right? There's certain things that we should not want to see. We don't want to see the intimacy of other people. That's not something we're supposed to want to see. We're not supposed to want to see our people getting hurt, getting killed and stabbed, and that's not cool. Right? I know we watch it in movies, but we know it's not real in the movie. But people want to see that in real life. Right? Soon as two girls, what they do in school, I mean, when two girls get in a fight.
What was the question?
What they do?
What was the question? What was the question?
What do they do in school when two girls get into a fight? What does everybody else do?
They love to record and instigate. Instigate.
Like, they start screaming "World Star," right? And they start pulling out them cameras, right? Why? Because everything is a voyeurism with our youth nowadays. Everything is to be seen. Everything is the lust of the eye. That's what scripture call it. Mm-hmm. The lust of the eye. How the eye, what tantalizes the eye, the evil part of your eye, your evil eye. You want to feed your evil eyes. Listen, you don't got time for that in your youth. In your youth, you should be busy building, sowing, right? Sowing those seeds so you can have things. Because later on, you're going to want things. You ain't going to have them, and you're going to be upset. You're going to be crying. You're going to be sad. You're going to blame everybody but yourself, right? We all get 24. Each and every day, we get 24. What you doing with yours, right? See what you got. You said you had an article?
Yeah, that article goes hand in hand with what we just went over. Mm-hmm. Showing, how even like the prominent of our people, when they don't have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in their youth, they're going to go out and make dumb and stupid mistakes that they don't even have to make.
Turn your volume down on mute.
Yeah, when I talk, there's a lot of feedback. So whatever else is playing, you might want to turn it down.
If that echo has gone away, right? Check, 1, 2. Put a check in the chat. Allow us to.
You are muted.
Check, 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Put a. It's clear now. I heard it's clear now. Did you mute yours?
Yeah. What did you say? Oh, it's feeding from over here, right?
Oh no, that's turned down.
1 second. That's why. 1 second.
We're checking out the audio real quick, family. Maybe they hear on your computer.
God, give me 1 second. You that? Hallelujah. How does the sound right now?
Sounds good.
Okay, and there's no feedback. Okay, go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, you about to go into the article so that they can hear, what's going on with our youth that's even in the limelight. Now they don't got it right. I mean, they got the money.
Right. So you have a well-known professional basketball player by the name of Zion Williamson, right? He's very prominent amongst our people. He's actually been on the Shade Room and all of that a lot. A lot of our people have been talking about him right along with Ja Morant, who was out brandishing his weapon, and I got that article for that as well. Where you have this brother, he's getting his hand caught up in the cookie jar, getting himself in trouble with these simple-minded women. And one of them is, we're going to read it right now. We're about to read it right now. Right? Give me 1 second. I should be able to see that. There you go. Right? Who is Yamil Taylor, Instagram model, allegedly calls out Zion Williamson for flying her out, getting courtside seats, and more. So the guy to the right is Zion Williamson, right? I believe he won All-Star Rookie of the Year in 2019, and he was drafted as #1 pick overall. So he's that dude as a young man in the NBA, right? New Orleans Pelicans star Zion Williamson continues to get bogged down by off-court trouble. His most recent controversy arose when model Yamil Taylor claimed he slept around despite knowing he had a baby on the way. Williamson recently announced that he was going to be a father. Soon after, the child's mother, Akima's dark past was unearthed by fans. She allegedly ran a CPN, credit privacy protection number scam. She 29 and running CPN scams, praying Zion got good ones around him. So already showing you what type of decisions he's making as he's only 21 years old.
Yeah.
Right? He got a baby mom on the way. She's a scammer. Now he got caught up with an Instagram model, flying out Instagram models, right? And it's only going to get worse. Yeah. Right? An adult star, which is a pornography star, named Moria Mills, then exposed screenshots of her chats with Zion and called them out for having a baby with another woman instead of her. Now you have the gold digger ex-pornography star is upset with his brother because he didn't get her pregnant and he got this other woman pregnant. She also confirmed the CPN story about Akima. Adult film star Moria Mills exposes Zion Williamson for having a baby with another woman instead of her. Right? Amid all of this drama, Instagram model Yamil Taylor has chimed in with further allegations, quote unquote, and be laying around sleeping comfortably knowing you have the B words pregnant and disgusted, she wrote on an Instagram story. So this shows you, like, even when our people is a prominent position like this brother right here, he's making millions, right? He don't have that wisdom. He's wasting his youth because at the age of 22 in your position, you shouldn't be making mistakes like that. You can't afford mistakes like that. And the most recent thing is that this sister is threatening to expose his sex tapes all over social media, and that's the Pelicans drop him off from the team.
That's what's going to happen. That's going to kill his reputation. All right, the scriptures tell you about a man's reputation.
Right.
Right. You don't want them to destroy your reputation, and but the scriptures tell us what folly. Let me ask you about. We have put about folly. Still in the heart of the youth.
Come.
All right.
God. The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 15.
God.
Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child,
right?
But the rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
Right. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. Meaning that what? If you don't get straightened out, if you don't get trained up, you're gonna do foolish things like this. You're gonna get caught up trying to have a look, right? Trying to have a certain experience. You want something strange. You want something exotic, and now what? You're going to ruin your whole career over it. This young man is probably one of the brightest stars in basketball from the time he was in high school. Right.
True.
From the time he was in high school, they was talking about him, right, as one of the brightest. I mean, he came out of high school the brightest at his age, at his time. And I look at him, he's sewn up with Instagram models and pornography stars. What's going on? No instruction, no wisdom, no knowledge, no understanding. Right?
And just add on to that too. When it says that rod of correction, that rod of correction don't actually have to be a belt. It could be life. Life will
beat you.
Life will beat you down and teach you. Right.
You think he ain't stressing now? His name is all in. Think he got to be sitting in the office? You know what I mean? They having all kind of meetings. They putting all kind of pressure on him right now. He's stressing. He's sitting on all that bread, but he's stressing. Why? Because he don't have no obedience. Right? He don't have no wisdom. Right? All that ends, and he can't make an end. He can't bring things to an end. He can't make sense of what he's doing. Right? Because folly is bound in the heart of the youth. Right? It's bound in the heart of the youth. Right? Why they let a little bit of fame go to their yeah, that's what it is, right? But people do this that's not famous, right? We get to talk about him because he's famous, but I'm gonna tell you right now, probably in my complex, they got a couple of dudes that doing the same thing, chasing Instagram models, trying to be the next, because they have no wisdom, they have no stability. They don't have no instruction. There's no instruction in school. There's no topic you take when you go to school called wisdom, right? You got all kind of classes. A lot of you in high school taking 8 classes. You go to college, you got 12 credits each semester. Which credit was wisdom? Where's that class at?
People getting mad at John Morant. In Chicago, there's hundreds of John Morants.
That's it. They're living the normal life. But the normal life today is not normal. It's strange, right? To those that serve the Most High, it's a strange way to be. It's a strange way to live. They talk about what we do is strange. We marry, right, over here, right? We marry, we build households, right? We cover, our men cover our women support our men, right? We build families, large families, mighty families, right? That's what we do here. We not strange. They strange, right? The tables have been turned. Let me see that Proverbs 22 verse 1. The tables have been turned, right? Right. Con, that's a scripture on reputation. Let's get that Proverbs 22 verse 1. The
book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 1.
Go ahead.
A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches.
Right.
And loving favor rather than silver and gold.
Right. So he got all this bread, but now what? He's a rich whoremonger. Right? That's all he is. Right? And he about to probably lose his shirt messing with these things. Because he got no discipline. He got no law of his body, no law of his loins. Right?
His loins loose.
His loins is loose. Right? Why you must keep crying out loud and telling our people of this. That's why. We got to keep crying out loud and tell them of their sins because nobody else ain't going to tell them.
Right.
Nobody else ain't going to tell them. Right? Let's get 1 Timothy 5:14. Let me talk to my sisters. Hey, Naomi, you can chime in. I know you're in the building. Naomi, you in the building?
Khan.
Right? You know who the Zion Williams is, right?
La'a.
Okay. Well, he's a big basketball player. Well, I'm sure you see the same thing happening at your school.
There's little Zion Williams all over the place.
Everybody want to be the number one stunner. All right?
Khan. That's big Khan.
Okay. They want that attention. Right? Let's read this real quick.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5, verse 14. I will therefore that the younger woman marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
Now, did they ever hear that in any of Cardi B songs? How about the City Girls? They rap about that? Right?
Ice Spice.
Who was the other one?
Ice Spice.
Ice Spice, you think that's in her lyrics? All right. That will therefore the young woman marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. What does reproachfully mean? What does reproachfully mean? Anybody know? Give me. What does reproachfully mean, family? Because our daughters ain't not supposed to speak reproachfully. Go ahead and give it to them.
All right. Railing or reveling?
Railing or rebelling. Railing or rebelling. That's cussing and carrying on, as they say nowadays, right? Talking loud, talking mean, talking bad, saying things they ought not to say, right? Causing conflict. That's reproachfully speaking. So what we're supposed to teach our young women? To not speak reproachfully, but to be humble and quaint and quiet, a good spirit, kind words, wholesome words, right? Comfort in their tongue, right? That's how we're supposed to speak. But you got to learn this from your youth. Because if you don't learn it when you're young, right? When you get older, it's going to be difficult.
Right.
Because it's already in your mouth. Now you got to change the way you speak. Now you got to battle with those spirits. But if you learn this from your youth, right, you're going to have comfort not just in your life, but in your household too. If you, what's that, boozy bad egg, right, in your house, right? You boozy, right? You ain't bougie, but you boozy, right, with your mouth. Then what? Nobody ain't gonna deal with you for long. They won't get from around you because you too boozy bad egg with your mouth, right? So we got to think about that, right? These are little things that could create that become big things. Little things that become big things. All right. So we got to be careful not to speak reproachfully. Lovers of their husbands, of their households, their children. How are we gonna? This is what you got to get in your spirit from a youth, right? So when you got that going, and you built on that, then when you get older, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be just second nature. It's gonna be second nature, right? Well, who's supposed to teach that to them, right? The mother or the father? I want to ask my panel, who's responsible for teaching the children, the mother or the father? I want a 1 for the mother, a 2 for the father. 1 for the mother, a 2 for the father. Who is going to raise, who is going to make sure that this is sown in the heart of our children coming up in this world crazy, right? Is it the mother to do it or is the father to do it? The father got to do it or does the mother got to do it, right? Whose responsibility is it in the household, right? Let's get 2 scriptures while we're waiting for the panel to give me some answers, right? Let's get Deuteronomy 4 and 6, and then I'm gonna ask for I think it's 1 Timothy 2 and 9. What is this? Michelle Guidehouse teach.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 6.
Go ahead.
Keep therefore and do them,
right?
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Go ahead.
We shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Read.
For what nation is there so great who hath Yahweh so nigh unto them, has Yahweh our power, is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law?
Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. Only take heed to thyself.
I got a lot of twos in the chat. I think that's the father. All right. 1 for the mother, 2 for the father. Go ahead.
And keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life.
And do what?
Unless they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life.
Read on.
But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons.
But teach them to thy sons and thy sons' sons. I got 2 and I got 2 and 1. I got a lot of 2s. I got a lot of 2s from the same source. Let me get some other people in the panel. 2 or 1? 2 or 1? Whose responsibility is it to drop this word on the youngest in the household? Right? Let's get Timothy now. So he told us to teach it to our sons, diligently teach it to our sons, right? Oh, I got a 1. Read.
No, we're notwithstanding, right?
No, not that one. So, no. They teach the young men.
Oh, to be sober and all that, right? This one?
Let me see. Yeah, the aged woman.
Right. The book of Titus, chapter 2 and verse 3.
Let's go.
The aged woman likewise.
The who?
The aged woman likewise.
The aged woman likewise. Go ahead.
That they be in behavior has become with holiness.
Okay.
Not false accusers. Not giving too much wine. Teachers of good things.
Read.
That they may teach the young women.
They may teach who?
The young women.
Read on.
To be sober.
To
love their husbands. To love their children.
Go ahead.
To be discreet.
Go ahead.
Chaste. Keepers at home.
Okay.
Good. Obedient.
Okay.
To their own husbands.
Come on.
That the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed.
That's a big work on the aged woman. The aged woman got to work. She got a lot of categories to teach our young women and children, right? They have a lot of work, right? So the answer, I see 1s, I see 2s, I see more. I see some 2s and some 1s, but I think that Mina Israel and Kashakia hit it on the head. Is both. It's the 1 and the 2. Right? The 1 got to teach the 2, and the 2 got to teach the children. Right? Right? The man got to teach his, I'm sorry, the 2 got to teach the 1, and the 1 got to teach the children, because 2 is the father, the 1 is the mother. Right? So it's the father and the mother. They got to teach the children, but the weight is on that mom, because we remember what our moms taught us. We might have failed our fathers, but remember the lessons our mothers taught us. That's why Lamuel said it's the lesson that my mother taught me, right? In Sirach 30 and verse 1. So our sisters have a great responsibility, not just in their own households, but in all the households of Israel, that they teach the women how to be women. See, now we were talking about that earlier. We was chopping it up. Like, here at the Lot of Zion, we have what's called camp, the school and the camp. And brothers can join the camp and get built up in manhood, get built up in reasoning, the commandments and the scriptures, get built up in the brotherhood, know how to serve the Father, learn from their peers, from their other brothers at that age, toe the line, go through all that it takes to be built up in the spirit. But as for our sisters, there's no real order set amongst the school. All right. What do you think about that? What's Naim? Is Naim still in the building?
Chauffeur lobby.
Huh?
She had a chauffeur lobby meeting.
Oh, okay. All right. So there's no real order set for our young daughters. There's no, for lack of a better word, I'm going to use a word that they use out in the world. Like the men have the fraternity of the commandments of the Most High. We make sure that brothers is doing the right thing. But the women don't have a sorority. That the sisters is making sure they're doing the right thing, right? That the Yah's name is being praised. And that's probably something that needs to be brought out there with a lot of our camps and schools out there, is that there has to be some order for our sisters so they can also be built and know when they're going wrong. And they do, because a lot of times they want to, it's like when a man tells them, they think we're just trying to, or how you say, take advantage of our position.
We're trying to put them in captivity.
Right.
Right.
We try to tell them something wrong to gain some sort of benefit. So, but if a sister tell a sister, I think it sounds a whole lot louder, right? It makes a whole lot more sense. So those aged women, right, they have a heavy weight on their shoulders when it comes to our young sisters, because they're going to become Instagram models, and they're going to get flued out, right? and then they're gonna get impregnated and sent back, right? And then who's gonna feel bad about it? Right? Their grandparents and their parents. They gotta hold the weight, right? They gotta hold the situation, right? So we gotta make sure that we are taking our own responsibilities in building up our youths, because, like you said, folly and foolishness is sown in their heart. So they do need the instructions from the elders. They need the instructions from those that gonna have their back, right? You know, they gotta know how to sow, how to reap, how to build, right? If nobody teach you how to build, how you gonna build anything, right? If you never put a brick on top of a brick, how you know? A lot of young men can't change a car tire,
Right.
Right? A lot of sisters can't cook a pot of rice, right? Can't cook a pot of rice, right? You know, yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone, right? So a lot of sisters can't cook a pot of rice. So we know that there's a great work that needs to be done in the nation as we build this nation, the rebirth of the nation of Israel, the reestablishing of God's chosen people on the earth, right? To fashion ourselves correctly according to the word of the Most High, right? We got to work together, family. We got to work together to cure this problem, because these youths, man. You said there was another article about a brother brandishing a gun?
Yes. Give me 1 second. Come. I'll put it right.
That's another thing, boy. You know, they think these gun thing is cool and it's hip to have a gun. But if you're not responsible, if you don't have the wisdom with that gun, you know what I mean? That gun will be your demise, right? You got it for protection. It's be the one thing that end up killing you because you got a lack of wisdom, right? What you got there?
Everything you need to know about Ja Morant's 25-game suspension. Mm-hmm. Now, just like with Zion Williamson, he's a very, very well-known upcoming basketball superstar straight out of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Okay.
After waiting nearly 2 months while the NBA conducted its investigation, the league announced a 25-game suspension Friday for Memphis Grizzlies guard Ja Morant to start the 2023-2024 season. In March, Morant, age 23, was suspended for 8 games after an Instagram Live video showed him displaying a firearm in a Denver area nightclub. So he was acting like a fool, waving his gun down the Instagram Live. In the days after, Morant spent time at a counseling facility in Florida. 2 months later, the two-time All-Star was filmed posing with a firearm in a car. The Grizzlies suspended Morant from team activities. Then he has remained so since. Ja Morant's decision to once again wield a firearm on social media is alarming and disconcerting, given his similar conduct in March, for which he was already suspended 8 games. NBA Commissioner Adam...
This guy is hard-headed. He already been suspended for this, and he's doing it again. Read on.
NBA Commissioner Adam said in the league's statement, the potential for the young people to emulate Ja's conduct is particularly concerning. Under these circumstances, we believe a suspension of 25 games is appropriate and make clear that engaging in reckless and irresponsible behavior with guns will not be tolerated. But questions remain: why 25 games? Where will Morant spend his offseason and his time away? How will Grizzlies cover for his absence? So that's pretty much it.
Okay, right. So just showing that it's that what they call that free time. Is that you're not busy building, you're not busy working, so then you find time for folly and foolishness. You waving guns around in the club, you waving guns around in the car, and then you did it not just once, twice, 3 times. So you hard-headed, you got no wisdom, right? Let me look at Lamentations real quick. All right, Yosemite. You think you Yosemite Sam, right? Right. All right. Let's look at Lamentations 3 and verse 24. So verse 24.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 24.
Let's go.
Yahweh is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him.
Go ahead.
Yahweh is good unto them that wait for him.
That do what?
That wait for him.
Go ahead.
To the soul that seeketh him.
Check this out. Read.
It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of Yahweh.
Go ahead.
It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth.
That he does what?
Bear the yoke in his youth.
What does that mean that you bear the yoke in your youth? That means the yoke is what you put on the oxen that pulls the plow, right? So what does it mean that you bear the yoke in your youth? It means while you're young, you're supposed to be working towards your future, not playing, not wasting time, not causing problems that you later on got to overcome. These young men, they work to get where they at. They still in their youth. They think the work is over, I guess, right? And they're going to do things to make themselves fall backwards, right? We need to be wiser than that. We work in our youth, and we're going to keep working in our youth till we set a foundation of good works, that we don't have to fall backwards. We don't have to end up doing the wrong thing, right? Read on.
Verse 24. Verse 25. No, actually, it's like, verse 25.
28. But you can read 27 again.
Verse 27. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth.
Go ahead.
He sitteth alone and keepeth silence because he hath borne it upon him.
Because he had done what?
Borne it upon him.
Meaning he can sit down and be in silence now because he borne it upon him. Mean that what? He put that word born, B-O-R-N-E, means carry. Mean he's carried his work. He's done what he had to do. So now he can sit in silence. When he gets of age, he can chill now, right? He can relax. He did that work. He can concentrate on the Father's work, right? Read on.
He putteth his mouth in the dust. If so be there may be hope. He giveth his cheek to him that smiteth him. He is filled full with reproach.
Right. So I mean that he went through the hard labors, the work. We went through the grind, and now he can sit back in silence, right? So what we are trying to show our family here is don't despise or don't waste your youth, right? Don't waste this time of your life. What are we talking about? Well, let's get the age bracket for the youth, right? Give me that in Leviticus. Is it 26? I think towards the end of 26, the last few verses, where it shows a different age of the blessings. For the estimation, 27 verse 1. Yeah, you're right. 27 verse 1, Leviticus.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 27 and verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When a man shall make a singular vow, the person shall be for Yahweh by thy estimation. And thy estimation should be of the male from 20 years old, even unto 60 years old.
So 20 to 60 is your manhood. That's your fullness. That's the height of your life. 20 to 60. Go ahead.
Even the estimation should be 50 shekels of silver after the shekel of the sanctuary.
Jump down to the 5th chapter.
5th verse.
5th verse, sorry.
And if it be from 5 years old, even unto 20 years old, then the estimation shall be of the male 20 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels.
So that's your youth, 5 to 20. That's your youth. Then you start coming into the fullness. By the time you finish by being 20, now you from 20 to 60, you're supposed to have this understanding. You're supposed to be on your grind, man. Right? Our teenagers, young men, 15, 16 years old, we got to push them. Get it right. Get understanding. Choose a career. Like Aisha was pressing my Banath. Choose a career. Figure out which way you're going. Don't be playing. Right? You can enjoy your youth, but you better enjoy it building. Enjoy it creating. Establishing. So that later on you got something. Because this way his kingdom is, we don't know how long this captivity going to be. Right? Listen, I went out of here yesterday. I want Yahweh to bust open the sky and get us all out of here. I thought. But we don't know how long this captivity is. So we got to use wisdom. Scripture says Most High gave us all this wisdom, all this free game, and we just leaving it on the side struggling like the other nations struggle, struggling like the Gentiles are struggling like when we was Negroes, how we struggle. We ain't supposed to struggle as Hebrews like that. We're supposed to have this wisdom and use it and build and move forward. Build our families, build our households, build our lives according to the will of the Most High God. That's why he gave us wisdom. Right? I'm going to bring up DJ Baruch. We get into almost to that time. DJ Baruch, I need you to bless him with some tunes. We talking about it. Do not waste your youth. Use it to build. Be better. Be stronger. DJ Baruch.
Yeah. I say we living in Torah. And what it do? Free rope. Yeah. Yo, who the Tell me what you doing, man. We moving for your who, man. Yeah, I see the vision, so the father had to break the chain. Keep it cold, this on, no problem, man. Bullet ass swinging, shimmer, we singing. Ain't no thing to shout, it's all love, my father house. Your hooch is the dough, so we moving with no doubt. Can we bad fruit? When I see you, watch the sprout. We do it for the love, ain't nobody Jackson Clout. Yeah, can they cover it? Ain't no getting out. We turn up to the max. I'm an open book, you can check the roof back. Do good times, spread love with these acts. Move in the light, so it's light I track. Cutting sin off your hoodie, y'all lumberjack. Don't sound the trumpet, them Hebrews back. Watch me on the wall, you whole battle wax. Ain't no stopping now.
We live in this world like a beast with no leash. Picky band for the people acting like some leeches. I don't go to church cause I don't even believe the preach. Lead the people where they propaganda false teachers. Oh, practice you preach. Caution your walk when you teach. I was just down on my dick, I can't answer the feet. They picking your print apart, man, they added some leaks. I cannot eat till I step up in the trap and leave with some peace. I don't believe all these teachers. I'm stretching the check. Man, I ain't got time for rest. I want to shop and relax. Who want your soul on the line? And money means nothing. Man, I feel like I got all of this time. I really got nothing. Situations can't discuss them yet. Feeling no hope. Pick up the pen and I feel it all roll. Where did you go with my back on the road? Man, I got robbed, I got did it some more. No, I'm a king, but the kids started broke. Man, I was hurt, I was doing the most. I was sitting and smoking and drinking this potion. Oh, dreams are spinning the racks, making it back, stacking the stacks to the ceiling. I'm tired of flipping the pack up the pack, I'm risking it out for my children. My mama killing my phone, my grandma fell in the wrong feeling.
Pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies, this hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Nigga think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening. Is effective. If revenge was a woman, now I stole that bitch like Jennifer. Historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't even do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand it. I might put a switch on this black and all the young.
I got my arm in the air, clutch tight fist. Yeah, you the quam, but can you quam like this? I got my arm in the air, clutch tight fist. Yeah, you the quam, but can you quam like this? I got my arm in the air, clutch tight fist. Yeah, you the quam, but can you quam like this? I got my arm in the air, clutch tight fist. Yeah, you the quam, but can you quam like this? I got my arm in the air, clutch tight fist. Yeah, you the quam, but can you quam like this? Yeah, you can move, but can you move like this? I might dance out my clothes like David. If you got negativity, just save it. It's time we get them blessings now. We came off slave ships. It's time to rise now. Ain't no one we blaming. If you love willful sin, them the ones we shaming. It's high time to wake out of sleep before the game in. A-team, a higher squad, that's what I'm banging. Get up out your seat. It's time to Kwame, ain't it? I want my name in the book of the lambs, now that's famous. I got my arm in.
We are the children of the one Yahweh. Ye are the chosen of the one Yahweh. And he has given his laws to us. Now everything belongs to us. We above all nations, all nations. Above all nations, all nations. We are the chosen of the one Yahweh.
We above, we ain't equal, tell the judge, this is legal, only love to my people, they my cuz, they my amigos, don't shed blood, don't do evil, don't do drugs, don't do needles, who I was, this the sequel, I don't mug, keep it peaceful, all the nations, they below, they be hating on the low, still waiting on my flow, I be making lots of dough, I hit Satan with a blow, all you masons gotta go, we debating on my show, I ain't faking, I'm a pro, look, we was in the wilderness, heavenly bread, broke the commandments, now we the tail instead of the head. So Christ come back and start resurrecting the dead. Glorious garments dipped in blood, looking redder than red. Yeah. When you rain missiles like a thunder shower, they die by millions when you come Yahweh. When you reveal and give your son the power, we are the children of the one Yahweh.
We are the children of the one Yahweh. Ye are the chosen of the one Yahweh. And he has given his laws to us.
I got a choice to make. Change or remain the same. Looking back on the things that I overcame. They're making music to degrade the brain, but we here to bring change to the whole game. Look, I got a choice to make. Change or remain the same. Looking back on the things that I overcame. They're making music to degrade the brain, but we here to bring change to the whole game. Educate. First things first, we ain't no Africans. We just victims of years in human trafficking. In the lab again, rehashing all of the facts again. The lies attacking them from school systems to Vatican. We the lost sheep. Bred in the misery, in the land of our enemies, took our heritage and history that taught us that a slave what we was meant to be, destroying us mentally, while some other folks took our identity. It's crazy. What you thought ain't really what it is. Ain't the same people that sold you as a slave want you to win. Come again. They feed you lies that keep you in the sin. Carry every which way with all their doctrines like the wind. I got a choice to make. Change or remain the same. Looking back on the things that I overcame. They're making music to degrade the brain, but we here to bring change to the whole game. Look, I got a choice to make. Change or remain the same. Looking back on the things that I overcame. They're making music to degrade the brain, but we here to bring change to the whole game. Educate. It's not considered as cool. You know it's not considered as cool.
This is not my word. Man, that's why I said we have to pray for each other, because these are the last days right now. Because when I bring that word out, you're not supposed to disrupt that word.
I defeat you. I'm too lethal. Sword in my hand. The Lord made me the man. I'm the man. I hate evil. Yeah. We not equal. No. I am too advanced. They don't know my plan. No, they don't. Pull up, stop. I don't trust you lot. Got the drop. Still saving the flock. Feet on fire. Parasites. Let them rot. I can't wait till the day that they drop. They blaspheme. They don't sell a lot. Close your mouth. Show no mercy. Kill them from the top. Let them crawl, they by my ankle just like socks. Let me go, shit I spare them. The most I told me nah.
I push this word out for the Most High. You came on my post and you feel some type of way to address the situation. Stay on course. Get out of your emotions and your feelings.
Flame in my eyes. Hair is white as wool for real. See the disguise. Inside they really shook for real. I do not lie. We living from the book for real. We killing them all. I guarantee we cool for real. Time to get vicious. Throwing them all in the fight. With the repentance. The Lord keep on taking me higher. I am offended. All I keep seeing is lies. What is your mission? Where do you go when you die? In the last time.
Get your Bible, bring it on. Find a corner, get a mic again. Tell the pastor that I'm coming, You ain't worried how the feet smell. Nah, we don't take no L's. Nah, we don't take no L's. With that lack of faith, you gotta miss. It's shy and shed his blood, he got the victory. So it's okay to yell. It's okay. We don't take no L's. Nah, we don't take no L's. Satan is a liar and defeated. He defeated. Yeshua is the king, he undefeated. He undefeated. For your life, you paid the wage. Car crash and you walk away unscathed. You better give Yeshua all the praise. He gave his life, he paved the way. Yeah, I know the road is narrow, it's okay. Let me give you all the facts, y'all. The broad is for the woe, and I ain't talking about no black rob. I'm just saying that for clarity. Your neighbor needs charity. Since you talking all that black love, if you listen, I just hope you get the message. Alright.
You can't stop me now. 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 You can't stop me now.
That's right, family. We're back on. All praise to the power of Isaac and Jacob, for his mercy truly endure forever. All right, so we're going to deal with the closing thoughts. I want to pull one scripture to our youth that may be listening online, chiming in with us this night. We by no means is, talking against the youth, but we're actually talking for the youth and trying to encourage them, right? Let's pull this verse right here.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers.
Right. So when it comes to our youth, we actually ought to be an example of the leaders. Let no one despise your youth. Let no one stand up and say, you can't do this or you can't do this, you're too young. It's time to do it. It's time to build. It's time to start. Right? Man, everything that's built had to start somewhere. And if you started in your youth, then you have a lot better chance of completing and making it happen. All right. Our young ones, 20s, 30s, teens, 20s, 30s, it's time to do it, because when you start going up into the 40s, 50s, and 60s, you should have already gotten it done. All right. So if you're in your teens, your 20s, your 30s, this is prime time to get busy. We're not despising your youth, we're encouraging your youth here on the Bring It Out radio show. Read on.
But be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity.
Right. In word, in charity, and you're not too young to be charitable. Sometimes a lot of young people think everything's supposed to be given to them.
Right.
You got to learn how to give, man. Right. One of the best things you will learn is the blessing of giving. Right. The blessing of being charitable, to looking out for someone else, to care about somebody else's well-being. You got to start doing that from a child, man. Right? You got to start doing that from a child so that you understand what that means for you in your youth, when you're grown up, when you're in your fullness, in your strength. Right? Is that it on that? All right. So closing thoughts. Well, I thought for everyone that's logged into this class, into this Bring It Out show. We wanted to reach the youths, maybe give them a lesson, give them something to think about. All right, when I'm talking about the youths, I'm talking about your late teens to your early 30s. All right, we're talking to you. You are youths. You need to get it done. And if you're not getting it done, it's time to start. All right, it's time to start. Plant trees, not plants. All right, don't plant flowers, plant trees. Plant things that take a long time to develop, so that you could reap and enjoy the benefits of it. Don't be afraid to set out to do something that takes 10 years to accomplish. You got 10 years to accomplish it. Why not? All right? Because when you accomplish that thing, trust and believe, if it takes 10 years to accomplish it, it's going to be a big accomplishment. All right? So, don't be afraid to put that long-term work in, right? And set forth those long-term blessings. All right? Anything you got, brother?
I think you hit it right on the nail. I just want to say, all praise to the Most High God for giving us the spirit of wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the laws, and shout out again to Captain Zakar and his wife, Sister Kalaya. Again, that's all I want to say.
And with that, We're going to turn it back over to my DJs to bring it out show throughout if everybody logging in. Keep supporting. You can email us at SHLAMAH, that's Shalimar, that's me, at Ymail, right? And you can bring your topics, your ideas. We're going to review those emails, and we're going to get those topics put on the show. And for now, we say Shalom to the family. Blessings. Kwam Yasharala. Hallelujah.
Hey, the pressure be building, the flesh and the spirit be battling. I gotta stay awake. Can't lose my faith, cause that's all that I gotta be sinning. It's time that I change my ways. Repentance is all on my mind. I gotta stay righteous. I'm taking it day to day. Stay strong in the battle I fight. I wanna do right. Ain't no time to play it safe. I put on that armor, God. Commandments gon' keep me alive. We fighting them demons. My spirit on defense. I do what I do to survive. I took some wins and some losses. I know gonna walk this repent or I die. The kingdom stay all on my mind. Stay in them scriptures. I've been on the grind. Yeah, how will be taking me further? Kill off the old man, it's a murder. He can't be creeping in. Salvation, you know that I'm seeking it. Killing my weaknesses, can't see the feet again. I need the strength in the spirit. I can't have the fear. I'm too strong and I need a win. The most high, you know that I'm seeking him. Go out to battle, we preaching him. Give him the gospel, yes, we the chosen. Scriptures we breaking inside of them chains. We spreading that news, time to free the broken. Pay close attention, you need to notice. All the religions we see, they bogus, but we lost with no guidance. We gotta keep fighting. I stay in that work cause I need to focus. Soldier mentality, we've awoken. Yeah. Stay strong, I'm a warrior. 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 Stay strong, I'm a warrior.
Hey. Shout out ASAP on the engineering. Shout out to Brother J on the beat. Let's go. Hey. What? Check me out. 712, 78, I hit the earth. All 712, 78, I hit the earth. All 712, 78, I hit the earth. All praises to the Father for my birth, like the frankincense and myrrh. Now it's Frenches on my shirt, cause I put the Father first. Kick my friends to the curb, then I swerve. Ricky Bobby in the streets with the scripts for the lost sheep like Uber Eats. Mask off, I got faith in Hamashiach. Blast off into space in the chariots. Fornication with the nations got us waiting for salvation. Just be patient, milk and honey, I can taste it and where the priest behind. You don't know where you going unless you know where you come from. Convicted in my spirit, I spit it and they hear it. The 12 tribes love it, the other nations fear it and clear it. I'ma spit until it's over with.
What is cold? Hell is hot. Prosper in the law, call it jackpot. Never sell your soul, this is food for thought. Martyr for the Lord, Hebrew juggernaut. I got the bow, I got the hammer. Trust in the Lord, never trust a jump. We in the slums, we in the sticks. On the corners where them brothers drop a couple bricks. The dice with the law, if you live in the sin, the spirit gon' burn with the skin that you win. And the Lord ain't your friend if you really don't repent. He might just forgive, but it really just depends. If you keep going off again and again, you should really chase the kingdom, but you rather find them rims. If you living as a criminal, the Lord apprehend. Cause you love living wicked just to chase some dividends. Please don't hold that L cause we looking for wins. I hold my head high as that boat starts to bend. You running out of time, bro, don't be a fool. You drowning in your sins, don't drown in the pool. You love living high, but I call that thing a crack rock. Bring it slow to the room, I guess that's a hot pop. You in my blood, I'm born in Florida. If you keep sinning, boys, nice knowing you. Better grab the tool, ya. Angels can be cruel, don't be stupid, they will kill ya. Better live your life on the wives unfamiliar. Love the 100 lives of the life that we still ya. I be like, oh yeah, Israelite, oh yeah. Speaking only truth in the pools, I'm a truth bearer. Let your light shine, you'll be frosting up the Lord's prayer. If you deny, you might die for these nightmares. You was born to win, not to live in sin. Will you go repent? If not out the wind, patient wearing thin. Sin is not the trend. You was born to win, not to live in sin. Will you go repent? If not out the wind,
we are going to hunt them. Any day now, ready to cotton hunting. We all go hunting. Hunt season. Behold, he gon' send for many fishers. We gon' step out in that water, we gon' fish 'em. Low, after that, he sending many hunters. Whoa, we gon' eat them up like Benny Hunters. We gon' hunt them. Anybody don't wanna serve us, we don't want them. Nah, so we gon' put the sword through 'em. This adventure show you how the Lord do 'em. Got 'em fleeing like a chase rope. Men of valor both handed with the bow. Bloodshed, we gon' make them fall. To make sure they all dead, we behead them all. Yeah, this is war music. We don't talk, we let the sword do it. Battle axes, but it's more to it. Look inside them, how the Lord slew it. And they know the Lord with us. 12 tribes, yeah, we all hit us. Taking vengeance on the heathens. Up against the